One of humanity's traditional virtues is to create wealth through hard work, aligning with the values of the industrial age that glorified labor. However, the era of solely relying on diligence to become rich has become history. Many people who work tirelessly day in and day out evidently do not lead prosperous lives solely due to their hard work. In our contemporary world, with the progress of the internet and new technologies, the ways to achieve wealth have undergone significant changes. This book, Even If Poor, Stand Among the Rich, which we are about to delve into today, will allow us to gain a deeper understanding of what constitutes the most effective modern methods of getting rich. In 1994, an unknown young person embarked on an entrepreneurial journey in their own garage. Drawing from previous work experience in an investment bank, this young individual deeply understood the significant impact that the internet would have on business and society in the days to come. Motivated by this realization, they conceived the idea of starting an online bookstore. Initially, their idea faced numerous doubts and skepticism, to the extent that even their own mother advised against resigning from a stable job to pursue what seemed like an impractical venture. After all, during that time, internet commerce was still an emerging industry, and traditional bookstores still held a dominant position. However, armed with extraordinary foresight and boundless imagination for the future, the young individual firmly believed that this was the right decision. Years later, he succeeded. The company he founded became a globally recognized enterprise, and he himself became one of the world's richest individuals. By now, many of you may have already guessed who this young person is. He is none other than Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. So, what was the key to his success? It was creativity and imagination. When others couldn't foresee the future, the most effective way to get rich in the new era was to create and build through one's own whimsical and distinctive imagination. The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. This is a slogan from an Apple advertisement in 1997, providing strong evidence for the rise of this new form of wealth creation. Steve Jobs, one of the co-founders of Apple, transformed the tech industry through his unique insights into product design and user experience. His creative imagination is evident in the groundbreaking products introduced by Apple, such as the iPhone and iPad. Without this imagination, we might never have witnessed the birth of these high-tech products. Napoleon Hill mentioned in his book, Think and Grow Rich, thoughts are things. And powerful things at that, when mixed with definiteness of purpose, and burning desire, can be translated into riches. Imagination is like a factory where all human plans are born. With imagination, desires take shape, can be molded, and can be given action. Imagination comes in two forms, the first being synthetic imagination, where people can combine past concepts, viewpoints, and plans to form new combinations. It does not create something entirely new but works on past experiences, education, and observations to creatively improve things through various methods and measures. Many times, when synthetic imagination cannot solve a problem, creative imagination arises. This form of creativity is a direct communication between the limited human mind and infinite wisdom. It is an ability to obtain a sixth sense and inspiration, creating new concepts. The more creative ability is utilized, the more sensitive and receptive it becomes. When you want to create wealth, in practice, mastering and utilizing any form of imagination, or a combination of both, is what makes a story complete. In other words, desire is merely a thought, an impulse that is vague and fleeting. It is only when desires are transformed into tangible material expressions that true value can be created. Imagination can be a vast plan and vision, and it can occur at any time, anywhere in your life. The key is to be able to discover opportunities and engage in positive thinking. Thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably the reason why so few engage in it. Henry Ford. The imagination in our minds is, in fact, our most valuable asset. Refusing to stick to conventions and actively engaging in thoughtful, proactive thinking is essential to unleash the maximum potential of this asset. One of the world's most imaginative figures is the renowned film director James Cameron. His films, Avatar and Titanic, rank among the highest-grossing movies globally. Cameron is celebrated for his innovation and imagination in the realms of science fiction and special effects. The portrayal of Pandora in the movie Avatar is incredibly detailed and captivating. From luminescent plants to creatures capable of connecting humans to the neural network of plants, each element vividly showcases the director's inventive imagination regarding the ecosystem. Undoubtedly, James Cameron's astounding imagination and execution have contributed to the creation of immense wealth. However, at the time of production, the 3D technology they used was still in its infancy. To immerse the audience in a lifelike experience, Cameron and his team spared no effort in integrating technology, rich imagination, and the viewing experience. This meticulous combination resulted in a film with a stunning impact. It can be said that without such imagination, these movies cannot be presented. Similarly, imagination can also manifest as small ideas. A publisher discovered that many people, when buying books, only pay attention to the title and do not prioritize the content. By rebranding poorly selling books with new, attention-grabbing titles, he managed to sell an additional 1 million copies without altering the content. His action was a simple yet imaginative idea, proving that even small creative ideas can yield substantial results. In a similar vein, there's a man in Shenyang who makes a living by collecting scrap. Despite meager earnings, he was a reflective individual. One day, he had a brilliant idea. Collecting one soda can only earns a few cents, but what if he melted it down and sold it as a metal material? He cut up an empty can, melted it into a small piece of silvery metal the size of a fingernail, and spent 600 yuan on laboratory testing at a non-ferrous metal research institute. The results revealed a valuable aluminum-magnesium alloy. Considering the market price for aluminum ingots at the time ranged from 14,000 to 18,000 yuan per ton, and each empty can weighed 18.5 grams, resulting in 5,400 cans per ton, he realized that selling the melted material could earn 6 to 7 times more money than selling the cans directly. Shocked by this calculation, he decided to start specializing in recycling and smelting aluminum cans. To collect more cans, he raised the recycling price from a few cents per can to 1.4 yuan, and advertised the designated purchase location to all scrap collectors. A week later, he arrived at the designated location and was greeted by a fleet of trucks loaded with empty cans. On that day, he collected over 130,000 cans. He promptly established a metal recycling processing plant. Within a year, the plant processed over 240 tons of aluminum ingots, earning him 2.7 million yuan in 2 years. The man's fate was completely transformed, while those who provided him with cans continued their routine scavenging without any change in their lives. Therefore, if you want to create more wealth, consider thinking and observing more. Never set limits for yourself, and there's nothing wrong with thinking outside the box. Remember, the only reasonable barrier to making money is insufficient or underutilized imagination. Those who continuously improve methods and bring forth a steady stream of creative ideas in the wealth creation process are more likely to achieve their desires. A quitter never wins, and a winner never quits. Napoleon Hill. As mentioned earlier, the creativity generated through imagination becomes complete only when fully applied in practice. Thomas Edison experienced over 10,000 failures before inventing the light bulb, meaning he achieved success after enduring thousands of failures. Some people couldn't comprehend his persistence, but he said, "I have not failed 10,000 times. I have successfully found 10,000 ways that will not work." If your first plan fails, formulate a new one. If the new plan also fails, create another one, and so on, until you find an effective plan. Temporary setbacks only indicate potential flaws in your plan. Due to a lack of perseverance in bringing imagination into reality and a flawless wealth creation plan, many people spend their lives in poverty and hardship. You gain an advantage when you fully leverage your imagination, use your intellect, and sell your wisdom. Creating wealth in competition is the most challenging. Without an advantage, you can only compete on price. Without unique value, you end up fighting in a saturated market, with slim chances of success. In this new era, learn to sidestep direct competition, pay more attention to details around you, think diligently, unleash your imagination, and tap into unlimited creativity. Believe that astonishing imagination can bring you immense life wealth. Thank you for watching. Please consider to subscribe our channel if you like our content. See you next time.